G'day and welcome to another Mongrel Dog production. Here's the backstory. I've just spent the last 5 days along with another 130 riders on a fully supported motorcycle tour, zigzagging over the Great Dividing Range from Canberra to Coffs Harbour. Most blokes are suiting up and heading home. They'll be home probably by this afternoon or this evening. I've got to get my sorry ass 5,000 kilometres across the country back to Perth. That'll probably take 7 days transiting through Central Australia. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, grab your gear. Let's go. Well, a very comfortable night's stay in the Pacific Bay Resort. For the last time I sleep on a mattress for about a week. The rest of my time now will be living like a dog. Living like a dog. Alright, I've had a light breakfast. Time to hit the road. I've got to climb over the Great Dividing Range again. I don't know how many times I've done that on this trip, but I've got to get over the other side of the range. I can see from here there's a lot of cloud cover up there, big risk of rain. I want to try and get clear of the range before the rain. And yeah, then I just keep heading west. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get today. I'll try and do 400 or 500 kilometres and pull up just to put a dent in it. I've got about 5,000 kilometres to go. Oh, about 2/3 of that'll be unsealed, and that's okay. But yeah, fairly remote. And because I'm on my own now, I just need to be a little bit conservative and not take any risks. Anyway, sit down, buckle up, enjoy the ride. Pull up for the day. I'm in a small community called Mungindi. I've actually made better time than I expected. I was happy to cover 400 kilometres today, and I've covered just over 500. I've got a bit of a schedule to keep. I do have to make up for a bit of lost time. I lost a couple of hours this morning. I don't think there's going to be much here, but I'll find the caravan park and settle in for the night. Yeah, I'm well.
What are you up to?
Unpowered tent site?
Yeah. Do you want to go on the lawn or?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll set up and how much is it?
$10 for a pound.
Oh, okay. Thank you. thank you for your hospitality.
No worries. I'll sit back with you too.
Alright, pardon me, getting a bit of an early start. Well, early, it's before 8 AM. Not quite sure of a destination for today. I hope to do about 800 kilometres. That should be doable because I'm pretty much heading west. So I'll be going with the sun. And that always extends the days, not by much, but enough to make a difference. So probably be a bush camp because the towns just don't line up as far as distance travelled and when to pull up and stuff. So yeah, probably be a bush camp, and that's okay. Be able to have a fire at least. Got food to cook. So yeah, we'll get underway. Towns from here are pretty well spread out. I can sit in the saddle for 4 hours without a break, and usually the only time I pull up is for fuel because of this long range tank. It comes in handy. Anyway, see you on the other side. Places planted with them, they're everywhere. They're hard to spot. They blend in pretty well with the bush. There's 2 mates are over there somewhere, and earlier I saw a group of about 6 or 7. They come out of nowhere. They're unpredictable. Kind of another 5 kilometres. I'll stop for fuel and a bite to eat. Next stop after that'll be thunder something. Got a guts full of fuel, guts full of food, but I did have to pull over and buy some more coffee because I'd run out of coffee. And I'm not very friendly in the mornings without coffee, and seeing I might have to bush camp, I thought that was an absolute essential item to get. Right, so Cunnamulla here. Next stop is Thargomindah, which is a couple of hours away. I'm actually making very good time, only because I've been probably going a bit quicker than I should have. But I can remember being told once by a copper, and he said it's all about time and place when it comes to how fast you travel. And I figure, now dear, it's the right time and the right place. Still get a bit nervous, of course, as soon as I see a car on the horizon. But anyway, yeah, Thargomindah, next stop. There's not much there. We're definitely in the outback now, outback Queensland, and I'm not sure, but I might actually cross into South Australia later today, depending on the going. Thargomindah 194. Hang on, I can't hear.
Oh, yeah.
What motorbike red's in your name?
Yes. Will that work? No, probably not.
Staying here tonight or keeping on going through?
Well, I'm going, no, I'll bush camp somewhere between here and Lincoln.
Oh, mate says he watches the channel. See, boys. Just random breath test and licence check. I passed. Alright. I'm at Thargomindah. I'm going to try and make it all the way to Inaminka today. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off. I think I'm going to run out of daylight. And I'm certainly not a big fan of riding at night. And there's nothing really at Inaminka. Inaminka's just an outpost. It does have a pub and fuel and a camping area, but it's not as if you would go there to spend your holidays. So look, I'll just keep riding for another couple of hours and yeah, bush camp somewhere. Alright, Thargomindah to Knockindra, caution. That can't be good. Uh-oh, there's some red up here. Inaminka Road. Caution, caution. Warri Gate Road, closed, closed, closed. Well, that won't affect me, thankfully. I've had some rain here. The whole journey today has just seen lots of still water on the side of the road, so it must have bucketed down at some stage. Cameron Corner, turn left 1.5 kilometres, and I think the sign back there said that that road was closed. Cameron Corner is the junction of New South Wales, South Australia and Queensland. Surveyed by a bloke by the name of Cameron. My guess is it's all unsealed out there. I have been to Cameron's Corner some years ago, just to tick it off the list. A sign up here saying the road's closed. Inaminka straight ahead. We actually turn off this road, but it's a little bit further west. Tibooburra Broken Hill. Inaminka 258 k's. Inaminka's in South Australia, so we cross a border before we get there. Inaminka, turn left. Inaminka, Moomba and the Dig Tree. Moomba is it's gas from memory. It's sealed all the way to Inaminka. After that it's all dirt for the next number of days for me. I think I passed an oil field back a little ways, and I think that's why there's so much traffic on this road. Not oil, gas. Well, that was convenient, passing here, because it's all single lane. I think he's looking me through. Yep. There's a lot of single lane stuff here. That's going to be interesting when this bloke meets that other guy that I passed a little while ago. I'm gobsmacked at the amount of traffic on this road. So much for being out here on your own. Alright, I've just opened up Wiki Camps, looking for a campsite. There's not much around here. I've just passed the gravel pit. I've turned around. I think it's on my left at the moment. I might go and have a look at that. Somebody's rated it 3 stars. Gravel pits don't have a lot to offer, but that could be my best bet, because the area around here is pretty void of vegetation. The next one is, I can't read that, I think it says 35 kilometres west, top of the range. So I might cut my losses. It's 4:40, sunset is at 6 p.m. I want to put my gear up during daylight because it's still wet from last night's rain. So I'll go and have a look at this this gravel pit, but my guess is that this will be me for the night. I don't need much. Just need a bit of wood for a fire. Jeez, they've obviously had some rain. Look at that washout, holy shit. Jeez. Well, I'm only a couple of 100 metres off the road. I was hoping to get a little bit further inland. Oh, I better be careful because some of this might be damp. I'll figure it out. There's been, you know, somebody's had a fire here already. This will do. Alright. I think this is about day 31 or something that I've been away from home, been on the road. With that in mind, I do have a bit of a schedule to keep. There's a bloke from Perth, Chris and I have been on some very, very difficult rides together and some very enjoyable rides together. But anyway, he was going to meet me a couple of days out of Perth, just so that he can get out of the house and escort me back into town to make sure I get home safely. But I was doing some sums last night, and I think for that to happen I've got to average about 800 kilometres a day over the next 4 days, which is doable. I mean, if I was staying in dongers or motels each night, it would be a lot easier. You lose a bit of time setting up camp and striking camp in the morning, and I could afford to do that, stay in motels, but I want to leave something behind for my kids to inherit. So yeah, 800 kilometres again today. I don't know, that'll leave me, I think, the other side of Maree, or no more, in a few hours time. Next stop in Aminka, just for fuel, and with that in mind I'll have to fill up the bladder because the next fuel stop is, oh, I don't know, 650 k's I think, so I'll have to fill up the bladder as well and pin it back a bit just to conserve a bit of fuel. Anyway, see you on the other side. Alright, this is in Aminka. I'm only going to be here long enough to refuel. I'm going to try and put the bike on the centre stand to get as much fuel as possible into the tank, because I'm going to need as much as I can today. This is the centre of town. So yeah, I'll refuel. Maybe, no, I'm not even going to worry about a cup of coffee. Well, I'm at Aminka. I've just refueled, including the bladder. I haven't had a signal for a little while. I've just checked my messages, and I've got a message from Chris to say that he can't make it. He's had some things happen so that he won't be able to meet me at Chukarillia Roadhouse. which is not a bad thing. It allows me a little bit of extra time just to take it easy and pin it back a bit, because otherwise it was going to put me under a little bit of pressure. So that's not a bad thing. But I would have enjoyed his company. Blokes look at me and then they look at their wife and the caravan and all the crap they're carrying, and they wish they were me. Okay, Inaminka. I've been here twice before, and both times this sign has looked like that. Usually roads to the right of me are all closed after rainfall. It seems to be happening more and more. There's a thing there that says Walker's Crossing closed. That's actually another way to Birdsville, and I've never been. Contrary to popular belief, there are some roads here in Australia that I haven't done, and that is one of them. One of these days, I wonder where they're going. Probably pulling up. There is a campground down the bottom there. But anyway, one of these days, when I get here, I'm going to turn right instead of left. Strzelecki Track, Lyndhurst, that's our destination. Now, there's a bit of red up on this sign too. At Lyndhurst, which is the end of this road, the Strzelecki Track, there's no fuel. Well, there is diesel, which is no good to me. Right, okay. Inaminka to Murdy, well that's me. Okay, 4-wheel drive, heavy vehicles only, they're saying. That's right, something with high clearance. Well, guess what? My BMW has high clearance, but there must still be some tricky bits. So yeah, Strzelecki Track, all unsealed now to Lyndhurst. As I said, there's no fuel there, and that's why I've had to stick a few litres. There, look. Lyndhurst 471, but when I get there I've got to turn right and go up to Maree. So that's why I've had to fill up a few litres in the bladder just to make sure that I'm not going to have to push the bike today. Lyndhurst 468. Don't be fooled, this blacktop stops pretty quickly. There is the Moomba gas project. I mean, we're in the middle of the Strzelecki desert. I'm not quite sure how they discover gas out here, but they have. I couldn't imagine what was involved in trying to set up and establish that place in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It looks like they're doing some work to their road too. Must have copped some damage from the rains. As I said, we're in a desert, and this is happening more and more here in Australia. I mean, deserts are based on how much rainfall they get annually. I think they're going to have to look at that and maybe make some changes, because some of the places here in Australia are copping more rain than they ever had. I don't want to politicise the channel, but I think climate change is a thing. Anyway, keep going, eh? Over for a bite to eat. It's going to be close fuel wise, I think. I've still got 300 kilometres to go, and I've got to try and keep my fuel consumption below about 6 litres per 100 kilometres, otherwise I'm going to be pushing towards the end, and it's not helped because of a strong crosswind. So yeah, I might have to just keep pinning it back, and as long as I keep that number below 6 litres per 100 I should be alright. Bony conditions at the moment. Got to be mindful not to stake a tyre. Been doing a bit of a sand dance every now and again too. There's a few patches of loose stuff. Keeps you on your toes. And then there's the dust. Lyndhurst, that's the end of the Strzelecki track. They've got diesel here. They don't have any unleaded. They don't have much of anything. I turn right here and head sort of north to Maree. It's all blacktop now. There was a time not so long ago that it was unsealed. Yeah, cut the corner, mate, you'll be right. Yeah, see, diesel only. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, thankfully I filled up with that 7 litres, because otherwise I'd be pushing it. Physically pushing the bike, because I wouldn't have had enough. I might go back and see if I can get a cup of coffee at the pub in a Minka. That sign said 473. Yeah, okay, well according to my speedo I've done 460 kilometres to get here. Anyway, go to the pub, see if I get a coffee. Right, this is Maree. To give some perspective to those folks here in Australia, yeah, the Birdsville track starts here and heads north. That was closed until only recently, once again from flooding. And of course, this is Maree, which is the beginning of the Ordinarily track. The Ordinarily track primarily exists because this used to be part of the original Ghan railway alignment. In fact, you'll see infrastructure, and there's an old bridge from back in the day, and you'll see lots of that when we go down the Ordinarily track tomorrow. Now, you can stay at the pub car park, you can camp there for free and have a hot shower for a gold coin donation, and I've done that in the past, but it doesn't really lend itself to camping. It's quite bony. There's the pub there. It does a bit of business because I guess it's free, but they've also got a caravan park of sorts here, and I'm happy to pay a few bucks and camp there. I mean, I don't even have the ability to make myself a cup of coffee at the back of the pub there, so yeah, it doesn't exactly lend itself to camping. There's a sign there, caravan this way. So, but yeah, there's lots of bits and pieces from the old Ghan railway. Obviously the old railway station there. Hotel and caravan park. Yeah, like I say, I'm happy to pay a few bucks. Another perfect sunrise in the Australian outback. The sun sort of dictates my day. Get up at first light. Did I leave anything behind? No, doesn't look like it. Alright, we'll go and get some fuel and get underway. We could have as much as 600 or 800 kilometres to cover today. I see this group here on the left, all these 4-wheel drives, that's a tag along group. You pay a fee for a couple of triple litres, blokes with experience, and these guys are actually going to go and do the Simpson Desert Crossing. One of the blokes last night, Brian, came up and introduced himself, said he likes the channel content, so good on you, Brian. It's always nice to get that sort of feedback. So yes, we'll go and get some fuel and then start heading west on the Ordinarily track, all dirt for the next 600 kilometres. A couple of fuel stops along the way and a couple of things to see and do as well. Another day at the office. I am blessed, and I do know that. Warning, remote area ahead. Be stupid and you will die. Alright, all the signs say the roads are open. The Ordinarily track, I mean, a lot of these roads and tracks out here, as long as they're dry, they're fine. A little bit of rain and they can turn deadly very quickly. So yeah, I'm going to, well, initially William Creek, then Ordinarily, and then forward still onto a place called Marla, which comes out on the Stuart Highway. So yeah, as long as the road's dry, it'll be fine. William Creek 204, that's my Oh no, Udinadatta 406, I'll get fuel there.